When I called my boyfriend at midnight, hesitated for a momentum, busy let my roommate keep you company, so his roommate started bringing me medicine when I was sick, taking me out for dinner, movies, and dates instead of him. Later, when my boyfriend got tired of playing around and wanted to get married, finally remembered me when he called his roommate, answered, "Why are you calling my wife? When did we get married? Yesterday. Just got the certificate for Yedelin's breathing stopped and he exploded. What did you say? That's my wife. Oh, not anymore." Ethan smiled slowly. "When did we get married? Yesterday. Just got the certificate for you." Other end went silent. For a full 30 seconds came a string of angry words that then hung up cleanly and blocked him about Ethan. I'd heard Dylan mention him many times. Bookworm, honest guy, so uninterested in women that people questioned his preference. Sacer, cold academic who seemed indifferent to everything. That's why Dylan felt safe leaving me with him. When the door opened, I froze. A manga-like boy stood there holding medicine, staring at me in a daze. He hadn't brought an umbrella and was soaked by the storm. Wet hair stuck to his cheeks, dog eyes pure and innocent. He couldn't look away. Old honest guy, why does he look like a total heartthrob? Excuse me, are you Dylan's girlfriend? Emma asked. Even his voice was so attractive. I quickly invited him inside, watching Ethan bustling round preparing medicine, making me hot. Total husband material. Under the lamplight looked dreamy and alluring. I reluctantly tore my gaze away from his fizzy tits when I noticed Ethan was completely soaked at ease, wet white shirt clung to his chest, dawdling his lean waist. My burning gaze. Ethan looked down, his eyelashes long and thick. The water's the right temperature. Take your medicine. I felt both touched and guilty making him come out in this storm, getting drenched like this. Dylan was such a jerk, but he wasn't wrong. Then really was a good guy. In my emotional state, I blurted out, "Do you want to take off your clothes?" Realizing how that sounded, he quickly added, "I mean, your clothes are all wet. Want to take them off to dry?" Then kept his head down, his expression unclear in the dim light. After a moment, he nodded gently. My heart leaped with joy. After Ethan took off his shirt, he stared again. I couldn't help. I was just too attractive. I rarely used attractive to describe a man's body, but Ethan really had that. Dressed his handsome, undressed his hot thing. Going the white shirt had been hiding his potential. Just as I was secretly counting his abs, then spoke softly, could I borrow your bathroom for a shower?" His face flushed, shy and innocent. "It's okay. If not, just lend me an umbrella and I'll head back now. The rain isn't the heaviest." If responding to his words, thunder crashed outside and the rain poured even hard. Derry melted with sympathy, immediately pushed him toward the bathroom, telling him to use whatever he needed. The sound of running water filled the air, steam rising. Then I suddenly remembered he'd left my undergarments in the bathroom. I was beside myself with anxiety. Bought it to wear for Dylan, tried it on in the bathroom today and forgot it there, thinking about the revealing designee. Wanted to crawl into a holy thing, came out quickly. He looked completely normal, no signs of awkwardness. I was a bit confused. His hair wasn't dried, still dripping water clearly. He'd rushed through his shower net wanting to trouble me. Good impression of him rose another notch looking at the terrible weather outside. They spoke first. "The rain won't stop anytime soon. Why don't you stay tonight? We'll have a guest room." Ethan waved his hands. "That wouldn't be right. You're my roommate's girlfriend." Dylan would get the wrong idea. "How about I wait here until the rain lightens up, then go back?" I couldn't persuade him otherwise, though I agree. At the same time, I silently admired him. Good guys like this were so rare nowadays. Ethan wasn't looking. G snuck back to the bathroom. Undergarments that had been on the counter were gone, and if the packaging wasn't still in the trash, he would have doubted I ever bought it. He didn't dare make a scene and quietly returned. Ethan was sitting on the sofa drinking water. Seeing me come from the bathroom, smiled. "Everything okay?" Having dropped his initial guard, now sat relaxed, long legs casually crossed, captivating like a fairy. Me know nothing. Give then thoughtfully rubbed his cup for a moment. No one spokenly. The wind and rain growing heavier be the way in the bathroom. He noticed Ethan suddenly spoke and my heart jumped. He tilted his head at me and smiled softly. "I noticed we use the same body wash." In my moment of confusion, Ethan had already stood up right in front of me, looking down from above. Close distance made it hard to breathe. Ethan spoke softly. "Can you smell it? Pine forest scent so nice." He was too close. The familiar fragrance enveloped me. Completely dizzy and disoriented, he stumbled. He caught me. "Stead, Elias, your stomach hurting again? Your face is so red." Into my atmosphere instantly dissolved. Ethan looked down at me with pure concern. A perfect gentleman, expecting his friend's girlfriend, feeling guilty about my wandering thoughts. He quickly shook my head, claiming I was tired. After saying good night to Ethan, he climbed into bed and fell asleep. Rain tapped against the window like a romantic lullaby. I fell asleep quickly, however. The next morning, he woke up in Ethan's arms. He thought I was still dreaming. I sat up and panic, kicking my body like a TV drama heroine. "Ethan," I remembered, "I was on my period, so even if he had bad intentions, what could he do when I sat up then woke to you?" I pointed at him, tongue-tied. Ethan squinted, slowly watching my face change colors like a palette. "What's wrong with just woken laziness?" His voice was husky and more assertive for some reason when he tilted his head to look at me. With narrowed eyes, she didn't have yesterday's puppy-like innocence but looked more like a foxy. Finally found my voice. How did we end up sleeping together? Then stared at me quietly, his eyes both resentful and wronged. If I had taken his innocence, did you forget? Hey, sighed. You sleepwalk last night. Man wouldn't let go. I tried to pull away but you kept touching and holding me and you kept calling out. Dylan's Nemethan pulled down his collar and his pale skin. Several bright red marks stood out. He was stunned. I did all this just as I looked up. He met a pair of misty tear-filled eyes. Looked like he was crying silently, covered his collar, holding back tears as he turned away. Never mind, if my girlfriend sees this, you'll definitely break up with me. You have a girlfriend. I was even more shocked. Waves of guilt crashed over me, then nodded gently, his voice choking. Just started dating a week ago. Haven't told Dylan yet. It's okay, and I don't blame you anyway. She doesn't really like me. When it comes to choosing, I'm always the one who gets left behind. More understanding, he wastes more. My heart ached. I panicked. How about I find you a new girlfriend?